Welcome, educators, parents, and fellow early learning guides to this explainer. Let's jump right in because today we are taking a comprehensive walk through the letter YY lesson plan from Elementary Education Explorers. If you've been following along with this incredible curriculum, you know exactly what this means. We are literally almost at the finish line of the A to Z marathon. There are only 2 letters left, and today we're unpacking a lesson that's designed not just to teach phonics, but to truly empower our students. Here is a quick look at our curriculum journey for today. First, the Young Achievers theme. Second, meeting the letter YY. Third, featured words and sentences. Fourth, interactive practice. And fifth, reaching the finish line. Okay, let's dive into section 1, the Young Achievers theme. Right out of the gate, the curriculum establishes that Y is for young achievers. This is absolutely crucial because honestly, this theme isn't just about phonics. It's deeply rooted in character building. It's about teaching kids to learn with joy and to show kindness. By framing the letter Y around young achievers, the curriculum inspires children to believe in themselves, to work hard, to stay curious, and to celebrate every single accomplishment along their learning journey. And that brings us to the overarching motivational mantra of the lesson. Young achievers learn today and lead tomorrow. I just love the energy of this. It's something you definitely want to say with a ton of enthusiasm in the classroom. It brilliantly frames the technical, academic learning with deep emotional encouragement. It gives the students a real sense of purpose and pride before they even pick up a pencil. To truly immerse these young learners, the curriculum provides a fantastic list of visual anchors to set up around your classroom or home. Imagine having a bright yo-yo on a desk, pictures of a yak or a yacht on the wall, a colorful ball of yarn, or a vase of yellow flowers. Combine those with images of children receiving achievement stars alongside books and pencils. These visuals create an environment where the Y sound is physically present everywhere they look. Though, maybe stick to pictures of the yak rather than bringing a real one inside. Moving right along to section 2, meeting the letter Y. Now, what's really interesting here is the clear, isolated phonetic rule we get to present. We introduce the letter Y by establishing its dual identity. It's a consonant in the alphabet, but as educators, we know we also have to plant the seed that sometimes it acts like a vowel. This is such a foundational grammatical concept, and stating it plainly really helps demystify the alphabet for early readers. Once they know what it is, we teach them what it sounds like with a highly energetic classroom chant. Ya says ya, ya, ya. You can get the whole room repeating this rhythmically. It just brings the sound to life, connecting it immediately back to those visual anchors we set up earlier, like the yak and the yo-yo. Section 3, featured words and sentences. Having mastered that isolated sound, we seamlessly move into vocabulary building. The curriculum provides a really comprehensive grid of 20 featured Y words, meticulously designed to scale in difficulty. You start with simple, easily identifiable objects like yak, yo-yo, yam, and yarn. But as we guide students through this list, it expands into concepts of time like year and yesterday, expressive words like yummy, yawn, and yippee, and finally multisyllable, abstract concepts like yourself and youth. It's a brilliant progression. Next, the lesson takes these words and uses them as sparks for sound and story. The first 5 sentences use micro-storytelling to create some really vivid imagery. Instead of just reading a flat list, the students are reading that the yak walked across the mountain path, or visualizing how Yusuf played with his colorful yo-yo. They read about a sailing yacht, grandma knitting with yellow yarn, and eating delicious yogurt. It actively engages their imagination while they're practicing their phonics. And the brilliant part is how the final sentences tie beautifully back to the overarching theme of the lesson. Sentences 6 through 10 move from planting yellow flowers and shouting yippee to stating that young learners ask great questions every day, and young achievers believe in themselves and help others succeed. It actually reinforces that character-building theme right inside the reading comprehension exercise. Let's move to section 4, interactive practice exercises, and see how this builds into the hands-on phase. The student's journey through the worksheet is mapped out with a very logical, progressive difficulty. First, they start with simple visual recognition by circling the letter Y among other letters. Then, they match a word to a picture. Step 3 asks them to fill in the missing letter for words like yacht and yogurt. Step 4 is reading and coloring. And finally, Step 5 challenges them with active, independent writing of the letter itself.
This layout beautifully contrasts and integrates reading comprehension with writing practice. When they read in color sentences like, "The yo-yo spins quickly," they are processing input and demonstrating comprehension. But when they move to the writing exercises, they're generating output and developing vital fine motor skills. Both are absolutely necessary, and this curriculum blends them seamlessly. We also need to emphasize the tracing layout. Students aren't just tracing randomly, they're practicing the strict mechanics of the uppercase Y versus the lowercase y. Once they establish that muscle memory on the isolated letters, and let's be honest, finally figure out how to draw that tricky lowercase tail, they tackle tracing full words like yak, yacht, and yarn. And sitting right there at the bottom of the tracing page is this second piece of motivational signposting. Young achievers grow with every lesson, because even during the sometimes frustrating task of handwriting practice, emotional support is built right into the curriculum to keep them pushing forward. And finally, Section 5, Reaching the Finish Line. There's a real sense of triumphant progression as we wrap up this penultimate lesson in the A to Z alphabet curriculum. To quickly summarize, this lesson ensures your students are fully prepped by covering the letter YY, its distinct y sound, an expansive list of featured words, engaging reading sentences, and comprehensive writing practice. If a student completes this, they are officially a confident young achiever on this letter.
The final sign-off on the lesson's footer leaves the kids with a glowing, positive affirmation. Young achievers learn, grow, and shine. It perfectly caps off the hard work they've just put in, leaving them feeling successful and, most importantly, seen.
But of course, as any educator knows, you always want to leave them wanting more. So we have to ask the dramatic question, what comes after YY? That's right, we get to tease the grand finale. Z is for zealous learners. It promises a joyful ending that celebrates curiosity, perseverance, and the sheer excitement of lifelong learning. It is the perfect capstone waiting just around the corner. I just want to take a quick moment to congratulate all the educators and parents out there. Your A to Z alphabet series is almost ready. Getting through 25 letters with your students is an incredible achievement. You are literally one single step away from a completed curriculum. So as we close out this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. You have the tools, the vocabulary, and the framework. How will you use this curriculum to inspire your young achievers to lead tomorrow? Because ultimately, we aren't just teaching them how to read a letter. We are teaching them how to read the world with confidence.